Y'all need a pilot?
Okay, let's go.
On a budget of $25 million, shot within just 22 days, we must ask ourselves if the legendary actor and director Mel Gibson really hit a home run with his newest risky venture, Flight Risk. During the most impressionable moments of my childhood, I spent my days enthralled by Mel Gibson's phenomenal work. Whether I was cheering for Benjamin Martin's relentless fight for American freedom in The Patriot, or reflecting on his steadfast fatherhood and sense of duty in M. Night Shyamalan's Signs, the values his characters embodied left a lasting impression on me. Seeing nowadays that the audiences, both young and old, aren't presented with these stories featuring upstanding role models is absolutely disheartening, and that's something that we need now more than ever. If you're excited to hear more about the movie, please make sure to leave me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I greatly appreciate it. Now that the boss is back in the director's chair, marking 8 years since his last directorial debut with his infamous film Hacksaw Ridge starring Andrew Garfield, it was a duty of mine to show up and to support Flight Risk. Assembling 8 of my closest friends to go see this film, we all left the theater with a huge collection of big smiles on our faces. Now, this movie is nothing like Mel Gibson's other juggernaut classics that we've all grown to love and to hold on to. It clearly wasn't trying to be anything like them either. If you watched the trailer, you knew exactly what you were going in for. Flight Risk is a comedy thriller following a U.S. Marshal tasked with escorting a government informant on a small plane flying thousands of feet above the Alaskan wilderness. However, along this trek, things take a dark turn when the pilot, played by Mark Wahlberg, is revealed to be a hitman with a dangerous agenda, leading to a mix of suspense, humor, and high-stakes action. Now, if you went in to see Speak No Evil to see just how mad and deranged James McAvoy was, you are in for a treat with the exact same sort of gusto with Mark Wahlberg in this. He is utterly insane. Mark Wahlberg's deranged serial killer assassin is over-the-top goofy on purpose. That will be a huge critique on his part on here. It was silly, it didn't seem convincing. It was on purpose. It was supposed to be funny. Paired up against an uptight U.S. Marshal and a pissing pants detainee, he steals the show with his deranged, goofy banter, marking a new persona we've never seen from him. He took crazy to a whole other level, and Mel Gibson said it himself that he had to cut most of Mark's improvised lines because he went way too far. And there's some times here where it's like, Mark, did you just say that? Now, if like me, you thought that he was just wearing some like cheap bald cap too, because obviously it's hilarious seeing Mark Wahlberg like balding like that, that wasn't fake. It looked fake, but it wasn't. He actually shaved his head every single day. Now, I don't know how he was able to keep his hairline in check because he looks great again, but he was shaving that every day. That's commitment right there, especially from an older dude. Despite his performance leading this film in a positive direction, the story offered an entertaining mystery that I wasn't really expecting. There are more crises to be realized than what is presented in those trailers. There's a lot more happening from the outside forces that are seriously inhibiting the security of the 3 main leads in the plane. Something I like about this too is that it's not afraid to take risks, and there's some serious shocking elements here that really took me off guard, and I was like, did that just happen? Like, wow, like, I did not see that coming. Those are the best, and this film's full of them. Now, Flight Risk is funny, don't get me wrong, but there are still quite a few times when the jokes just don't land very well. Unfortunately, the main actress, Michelle Dockery, she's pretty stale the whole time. I hate to say it, she was just really stale. And Topher Grace, he's supposed to be this awkward, like, nerd character, and he says awkward things, and sometimes it's funny and sometimes it's not funny, and it's just strictly awkward. It doesn't land very well, and it's not so fun watching that all the time. I don't know what Mel Gibson was thinking with this, but we follow a really odd developing relationship between the main actress and a pilot that is helping her out on the phone. He's really flirty with her. He's saying flirty things while she's in this life or death situation, and she's digging it. She likes it, and she's going along with it. Going along with this dude's advances on the phone while she's got Mark Wahlberg back there trying to kill her. What is this? There's no way. I was sitting there and I was like, no way in hell she'd ever be into that. There she was. She was totally into it. I don't know what you were thinking, Mel. That was an odd choice. But despite the few hiccups that it has, Flight Risk is simply just a short, entertaining, fun film that you're gonna have a good time seeing. To answer the big question, is this going to be Mel Gibson's next big hit? I can't go as far as saying that, unfortunately. But nevertheless, it's going to make money. It pretty low budget, and it doesn't really show. It looks good. It looks good, and everybody does a pretty good job, especially Mark Wahlberg. And it's fun. You're going to have a lot of fun watching it. And who doesn't want to go to the theater just to have a fun time? Not everything is as complicated as seeing Dune, the new Dune movie, where you have to watch it 3 times over to understand. It's a fun, not as far as turn your brain off film, but just put it on cruise control. Put it on cruise control and still keep your foot on the gas, because there's still some stuff to unravel watching this movie that I think you're going to enjoy. And with practically 0 decent comedies coming out anymore, you'll have a good laugh watching this, which I think we all could use right now. If you liked what I had to say today, please make sure to show your support and leave me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. It would mean a lot to me. But I would like to know what you think about this. Are you going to see Flight Risk? Are you a big fan of Mel Gibson's previous iconic work? For me, it made a big difference for me growing up. And I looked up to so many of his great characters he played, especially Signs. It's my #1 favorite movie of all time. And if you want to check out that video, it's an old Signs video, but make sure to see that right here. As always, though, I appreciate all the time you spend with me. I wish you well. I'll see you soon.